Schmoes Know presents HorrorFlix, a podcast covering all things horror, suspense, and psychological thrillers in the world of cinema. And now, here are your hosts, Cobbster and Cody.
Cody, come on.
I'm coming.
Sorry. Alright,
Ready?
You remember how to play this game, right?
Yeah, just...
Okay. Go right here. Come right here. Yeah, okay.
Right here.
Okay, let's go.
Don't capture some shit.
Alright, ready?
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Nothing. That's fucking... Okay.
It's not that big of a deal. Cody? Cody, are you there? What? Oh shit. I don't like this. Cody?
Where'd you go?
Greetings, horror fans, and welcome to another edition of HorrorFlix, a show in which we talk horror films because we love horror films.
We do.
Thick and thin, even if they suck. But
Yeah.
I fear that we're going to be talking about horror films that aren't good because we're kind of upset a little bit.
We're a little thrown off by what we just experienced.
I don't know who's more upset, you or me, or...
I think I'm more depressed than I am upset.
Yeah, I think so. I'm usually depressed as it is, and I think this really...
This is going to throw you off that cliff.
It just really nails the balls on the wall.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? But we are your hosts. I'm Cobbster.
I'm Cody.
And we are your hosts.
Good job.
Thanks. So today, we're going to be talking about Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, because we saw it for some stupid reason. And we're going to be talking about it to you guys. It's going to be full-on spoilers. We'll give you our quick thoughts on it. Spoilers really don't matter. At this point, it's at
To
this
hear
point,
what
who
we
really...
have to say about this movie, you need to understand the spoilers.
Well, yeah,
you
of
need
course.
to see where we're
like,
coming from with this.
They make, like, you need to know them, and they do matter, but they just, in the end game, they don't matter.
They don't.
I have so many things to say about this. I know you do too, but before we get into that, we got a couple plugs that we got to do. We got to plug it up the butt. So this Tuesday, so this should be up hopefully I believe by Sunday. If you're if you're scared, go to church and watch this episode.
Or watch
and then
football.
This Tuesday, October 27th. We are doing a live event at the Popcorn Talk Network
Good job.
excuse me, and it's called the show is called Watch Along, and basically you guys are going to be watching along a movie with me and Cody.
Surprise! Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun. We're gonna put the link should be right here, anywhere, maybe on our faces.
What are we watching, Cobbster?
Well, let me finish telling them.
Oh,
where
I
I'm
can't
going.
wait. I'm so filled with excitement. Tell me.
How about you're going to tell them in a second. This is how much we plan this.
Okay.
Let me explain where they're going to find the link, and then you explain what we're going to
fine.
watch. You guys can look down down below. The live event is already set. It's ready to go. Just come Tuesday at 6 o'clock at night PST. It should be a lot of fun. And Cody, tell them what we're going to watch.
We are watching The Land Before Time 2. It's going to be a fun note. We're watching Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yes.
It's going to be a good time. It makes sense because it's Halloween time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this with you guys. We're going to give some commentary. Mm-hmm. You guys are going to talk with us. It's going to be a good time.
I'm super excited. I love this film. I literally just watched it the other day, and I can't wait to watch it again along with you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We sync up the times, and you pop up your laptop right next to your screen. Pops up some popcorn. Pop some pills, but be safe about it. Don't be doing too much, and don't mix herbal Viagra with cocaine.
You have experience with this.
That will
You have
fuck
experience
you
with
up.
that particular combination?
No, there's a basketball player that did
Oh,
that.
oh,
That
that's
one
right.
dude,
Yeah,
that
okay,
one
sorry.
guy,
Too soon.
the Kardashian guy, right?
He's not.
So that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we really hope to see you guys there because you guys are all more than welcome to come up.
Come on down. We got one couch.
But it should be a lot of fun, and we're going to be just tweeting that out like crazy. So be sure to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a good time.
Tell us what else we got to plug real quick.
We have an appearance on Top 10.
Woo!
guys know the podcast. It's also on the
Yes.
SK Podcast channel. They invited us over to talk about our top 10 Halloween films.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. We
It
talked
really
about them
was.
for like an hour and a half, just shooting the shit. I got made fun of a lot.
Yeah.
All in good fun.
It was so much
I cried
fun.
myself to sleep,
Yeah.
but it was a good time. I really
Matt
enjoyed
Nost, John Rocco, those guys are some of the coolest guys I think
Yeah,
we've
absolutely.
ever worked with. They're very, very funny. They're very knowledgeable with their films, and it was a great time, and they have a great show. So check out the show here on the Schmoes Know Podcast channel if you're watching us on YouTube, because we are on video now. And be sure to check that out when it comes out. I believe it's coming out this week. We will definitely, if you're watching this right now, there's probably going to be a link popping up as soon as it does come out, and we'll tweet that out as well. So, and it'll also be in the description box once it is released. So I'm very excited about that. We got a Halloween episode coming up pretty soon. We're gonna have to shoot that early because you're out of town. I think
Sorry.
something you got to take care of your kid this weekend.
Yeah, he got a little sick again. He started playing with some demonology books, so I got to take him to a priest.
It's
So
fine.
gonna be
It's fine. He should
Yeah,
be fine. Put
whatever.
some holy water and make.
Speaking of holy water, I watched The Exorcist in theaters last week.
Yeah, how was that?
That was a fun time. It was a sold-out theater. I didn't
Yeah.
think anyone was going to be in there, and that was my first time watching the movie from start to finish in like 10 years, I'd say.
It was probably
a
like
ton of
It was
fun.
like
yeah.
10 minutes for me since I've seen it in full
Really?
length.
Really?
Yeah, because I watch it like every night.
Oh,
and they show original cut.
It
director's
was
cut.
the director's cut.
It
I
was
was very
director's cut.
surprised to see that. Yeah.
Spider walk.
Spider-Walk
scene,
was on there.
Face on the kitchen stove.
That part got everybody.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, "Oh!"
I love it.
It's great.
I love it when the face pops up.
Yeah.
Just pure black. Because when there's that scene where Reagan is just staring off into the
Yeah,
distance,
and the
then
face
the
just
face
pops up.
It's,
Happens a couple times.
it's
Yeah.
funny. If you ever pause it on that face, it looks so stupid.
He's just like,
Just hey, a Babadook. I don't know what his name is.
A
but
Babadook?
A Babadook. A Babadook.
a Babadook.
Yeah. So that's all of our plugs, I think, for the most part. We went to Fresno. We got to do this.
We
really
finally
cool-
have the video for you
Yes.
guys from our infamous Fresno trip.
If you guys want to check it out real quick.
Look at all these shoes.
I normally compose myself very well.
Leprechaun would be popping a boner right now. This is great. Got you. Can't get me. Oh, you motherfucker! Fuck! God!
There you go. That was that. It was a lot of fun. If you want to see the full video, check out the link below here. Just search for it on the Schmoes Know Podcast channel and do that. All that stuff. If you're listening to us on iTunes, thanks for listening to us, and I hope you could check out the full videos on our Schmoes Know Podcast channel, because put a lot of work into it. It was a lot of fun. We had some fun with some really
Absolutely.
great people, and just giving you guys as much content as you possibly can. We're working on a lot of really great stuff coming up in the future. He knows what that was for.
Yeah.
And it's
Can't
just
say
stuff,
that yet.
stuff that I'm super freaking excited for, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But all of that out of the way, let's talk about Paranormal Activity, the Ghost Dimension. First of all, we've talked about this entire franchise before. We
need to stress that
Yes.
how important this franchise is.
Yeah.
Particularly to me. I love the series.
Yeah.
So
For the most part, I like the series.
first three I think are incredible.
I think the first three are very much incredible. And if you guys want to check out our full episode on that, you guys can find it on here on the Schmoes Know Podcast channel. Another plug. You can hear all of our thoughts on all 5 of the films that have been out. This is the 6th film in the series, if you're counting the Mark ones, which was like a spin-off, but it connects the story.
You know who doesn't count the Mark ones?
Who?
This series.
Oh, hey! There it is.
Yay!
Yes, that's a good one.
We'll get to that later.
He makes jokes.
Yeah.
Initially going in, I thought the trailers for this were just kind of whatever.
Well, let's go back to when the title was revealed.
Oh gosh. Okay.
The Ghost Dimension.
The Ghost Dimension.
How could we have any hope when the movie's called The Ghost Dimension?
I don't know, because it doesn't make any sense, because there's no ghosts. It's
Demons.
They're demons, and so it would be the demon dimension. So
Demon
first
Dimension
of all,
sounds like a metal band from the 80s.
It does, right?
Demon Dimension.
Ladies and gentlemen, Demon Dimension. What's up, motherfucker? We're Demon Dimension. We're gonna fuck you in the ass. Yeah, so the title alone is just really stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's false marketing on their part, so I might just sue to get my money back. And this movie's in 3D. Okay, I will give this movie the credit for... the Paranormal Activity series has always been, for the most part, done inventive stuff with found footage.
Yeah.
The first film, they didn't really do anything necessarily.
They reinvented, or they rebirthed the genre.
They reinvigorated
I
it.
guess.
I guess
that's
you
what I
would
was
have to say.
looking for.
I
Reinvigorated.
guess it was like, even though that Blair Witch Project is still pretty modern, it's like our modern Blair Witch Project,
Yeah,
the
I'd
first
say,
Paranormal
yeah.
Activity, at least. As far as what the reaction was to people, not so much. I still think Blair Witch is still a better movie, but Paranormal, it did the same thing. You know, people thought it was real. It felt very real. The acting was very raw, and all these things. The filming itself was very raw, and so it was just this thing that struck everybody, and it caught people by surprise. And then, 5 films later, we get to this film.
Oh man, did we get to this film?
And they tried something new with the 3D, and I understand. It's like, okay, that it's like I can tell them, okay, pat yourselves on the back because you did something interesting there. But you did the one thing that does not scare people. You showed the thing that has been scaring us for the past 5 films, and it almost just ruins the entire.
That's what I was thinking.
thing.
Like it makes the other films not as scary because you know what the fucking
You know
thing
what
looks
it looks like. The beautiful thing about these movies is imagining what it like. The scene in Paranormal Activity when you hear him walking up the steps, and then you hear the boom, and like you imagine so many different things of what Toby actually looks like, and now that you see him, he's just a Sauron looking motherfucker, and it's just stupid. It's just like a dumb skull ghost face that you barely briefly see.
He looks like Sauron mixed with like Venom from Spider-Man 3. Like it doesn't really.
that's
It's
pretty
not a
good.
good combination to have, by the way.
No,
it's just
but
not
it's just
scary.
It's just I don't know. Like I don't know. Why? Why? Besides money, why? I don't understand it.
Why is the girl excited to talk to this thing?
As
As a kid, or you can be like, "Oh, hey, buddy."
Is he bringing her
I
candy?
would run the fuck out of the house.
Like if you like saw this thing in front of you as a little kid, like
especially as a little kid, I'd be like, "Holy shit!"
as a little kid, you're scared of like a fucking Easter bunny when you go to
let's
the
get a
mall
Santa Claus.
to sit on his lap, but you see this like black smoke raising liquid fucking guy, and you're like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? What? Yeah, I want to fucking.
I'll
hang
draw
out.
some creepy symbols on the wall for you. No
I'll
big
walk
deal.
into this creepy ass looking tunnel that just magically appeared through my wall. And look, I get it. Like we've talked about kids and how imagination is like the key to being something really scary.
Yeah.
But it like, what are you doing? What intrigues you? And I guess I get that it's like this whole prophecy thing and everything's supposed to be tying together.
What a convoluted fucking prophecy,
it's
by
just
the way.
all over the place. It really is.
They try to explain that shit. I was just like, you've got to be shitting.
So let's backtrack. We're getting heated. We're getting heated here.
It's getting hot in
Back
here.
it up, homie.
It's getting hot
Back
in
it up,
here.
homie.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's start it from the beginning. Okay, so this film takes place in 2013, which the original one was what, 2007?
Oh, the story took place in 06.
06, okay.
Yeah.
And there's a funny line in the movie where he's like, all these years ago. I was like, dude, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
And so this one takes place in 2013 with a brand new family, which is a thing that I don't really like that they do with each film because, stay with the same family or something around that nature so that way we know the characters a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to a new family, you don't really get that much connection with them. You don't get too much development between them. But whatever, you're there for the scares. But we'll get into the scares in a little bit too.
Scares.
And so they're in this house, and it turns out that it's the same location as the film that took place in Paranormal Activity 3. But we find out that house had burnt down.
Yeah.
And which was funny about Paranormal Activity 3 because we had seen in the trailers for that movie that the house actually burns down, but you never see it in the actual film.
That's true, yeah.
So they bring it up in this one, and it's saying like, "Oh, the house burns down." Okay, so that takes care of the third movie apparently.
Okay, fine.
And so they come across this camera that is the same camera from the third movie.
What a camera this is.
That for some reason didn't pick up all the 3D stuff back then,
No.
but as soon as they turn it on here, it's got all these cool, weird-looking gadget stuff in the camera that could pick up 3D stuff. And the 3D stuff is essentially all the activity that has been happening throughout all the years.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it magically just starts to happen. And there's a fucking wall that opens up in this little girl's house. There's a really hot babysitter chick that I would love to be friends.
What was the point of her character?
Just to be extremely hot.
Just to have an extra body in the room?
She's the best part about this movie, just to look at. Oh my goodness.
She's very attractive.
I was so happy for the mustache guy just because like he was trying to hit on her
Mm-hmm.
and it just never went anywhere. I'll say this too. I'll say this about the Paranormal Activity series is that for the most part in these films, they've had pretty good acting.
Yeah.
I thought this
they don't
movie,
have much to do, obviously,
No.
because it's found footage, but I think they do a fine job with what they're given. Yeah,
and they've always had a pretty good sense of humor with their characters. Like I
yeah.
thought the guy with the mustache was hysterical. I thought
he's a good guy.
the banter between him and his brother was really great. But it almost felt like the two main protagonists, which were the husband and wife of the daughter. I feel like they didn't really have much to do. I feel
They really didn't.
They were like, it seemed like they were barely even in the film.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament to just the directing and just the overall direction of how their characters went about, because I felt nothing for them.
Yeah.
Everyone dies, of course.
It's not a spoiler. I mean,
well, it is a spoiler, obviously, but
you've seen all the other Paranormal Activity movies, right? You know what happens.
There's a spoiler thing on the main title of this, so it's going to be all throughout, and it just doesn't matter because it's never going to go anywhere. They're going to continue. They're going to make another film, but it's like, where are they going to go after this? So. Let me hear some of your thoughts. I need to just take a break from talking.
I need to bring up the fact that no one was rooting for this movie harder than me. I wanted this to be a solid conclusion to this franchise that I loved so much.
You need to do better things with your life.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm all rooting for this. I'm like, go Paranormal Activity. Why did the last 15 minutes of this turn into a scene from the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland?
Right.
This fucking ghost, it looked like a Scooby-Doo ending.
It did.
They're trying to trap this thing with the holy water sheet.
Let's do the
It's like,
Scooby-Doo. Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah.
For real. No,
What the fuck was that?
It was just a hodgepodge of dumb CGI effects.
And that's unbelievably terrible CGI.
Yeah, it's
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
good. It's not scary. People are dying for no reason left and right. Like the hot babysitter chick, she starts throwing up acid blood.
Because
She
that
turned
was
into a
introduced somewhere in the series, right?
She turned into a
No.
xenomorph and threw up all over the mustache guy, and his face started burning. The priest gets pulled away because he's a priest. You always got to kill the priest.
Yeah, of course.
The dad gets stabbed through the heart by
And
the
then
demon's
the hand
penis.
comes through trying to come at the camera. And I was
Yeah.
at that point, I was like, fuck this.
They were like, "Whoa,
I'm done.
Whoa, it's in
Look
3D.
at the 3D, guys.
And
Oh.
then the mom in the end just gets her neck snapped by legs. Just by Toby. But
I appreciate that it didn't entirely show Toby's
he's
full
just a
form,
human. Like,
but
what,
he's
how did he manifest into a human? And what's the point of that?
just this pale white guy he turns into.
Is he gonna take hold on, no, this is fucking stupid because as I'm realizing this, she time travels back to 1988 or whenever the third movie took place, and that's when Toby was born. Is Toby the old man with fucking the ponytail the whole time, or is it just like is it the spawn of fucking Satan? And what is he gonna do next? Take over
I
the
thought
world?
Fuck Toby took over Katie's body.
Yeah,
What
I
the
thought
fuck
he did.
does he need his own body for? He's got a perfectly fine
He
body
would have
there.
time traveled back to Katie's house, and what's the whole deal with the marked ones? Where the main
What's the deal with anything from the marked
where
ones?
the
Or
Mexican
number
dude
4.
goes into the house and he causes the events of the ending of the first Paranormal Activity, and then you've got Hunter from the fourth film, and you just find out that family was just killed, and Hunter was what? Was he taken to get sodomized somewhere else in the fucking woods by a cult?
He had a wonderful cameo just looking,
just a picture
staring.
and his name. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. and it really negates a lot of the Paranormal Activity movies. Like it almost ignores half the things that happen. And I get that the marked ones was supposed to be a spin-off, but it's still connected within the movies, and so it has to make sense somewhere. And have they been I haven't seen much of marketing on this film. Have they been marketing this one as like the final one? They
absolutely.
haven't?
Yeah.
Because they did that same
They're saying,
thing.
oh, it's the final chapter.
They did that with like Paranormal Activity 4, where they said all the activity has led to this.
Yeah,
you know?
that led to nothing in the
Nothing.
fourth one, by the way.
I guess what we could say that this wrapped up the actual Paranormal Activity, because the thing is actually alive and it's a walking, living human being, or at least embodying a human being.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna make another one, they shouldn't even call it Paranormal Activity.
No.
They're just gonna call it fucking Toby's Adventures.
Toby's
with little
Adventures.
Girls. That's all it's gonna be, and it's just stupid. Like
I want to see a children's poster. Toby's Adventures with Little Girls.
and
He's
it's just gonna
holding
show
hands.
a pair of fucking legs,
Yeah.
just hairy legs, and that's it. I just I've always given this series a chance. Like always given the series a chance.
Yeah.
I didn't see the marked ones in theaters because it didn't.
I saw
interest
it
me.
on,
And,
video, too,
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw it on that one too. And I gave it the benefit of the doubt because it just seemed like it was gonna connect some things, and I had to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so with this one, because the ghost dimension, try saying that with a fucking serious face. This one was like part
Get
of,
him in the ghost dimension. Like I can't.
I can't take that serious. But with this one, I gave this one a shot because it was part of the main series.
And I wanted to see how it wrapped up.
I wanted to see because I
was rooting for a strong finish.
Rooting that it would do something and it would make me happy again. Maybe throw something back to the original one. I thought the acting was relatively really good and it looked good from the trailers. It failed on every level, and I'm done with the series. I am done. This is the space episode for me. And they could go to space, and it could probably be better than this.
It'd be so much better.
It would be. Toby's going to travel up into space and take over a satellite, and then eventually, I'm calling this fucking right now. If it happens, fucking, I'm a genius.
Okay.
He's going to take over a satellite and then possess all other little girls and make them walk through ghost dimensions, and then people are just going to be flying all over the place because they have to have something flying at the camera or flying at people. Yeah. And it's just, this series is going to go nowhere.
Where was Katie? I have to bring this up again. Why wasn't Katie in this? The iconic character from this series, and they just kind of write her off. I guess she was the real estate agent, I guess, because, like, so the thing is, this family moves into this house because they have a great deal, unfortunately, they just throw in at the very end. By the way, we moved in because this was such a great deal. Where the hell was Katie? I'm telling you, where? I don't get it. Why aren't you answering me? Where the hell was Katie in this movie, Cobbster? Tell me.
I'll answer you right now. I don't know where Katie was. She probably said, "Fuck this franchise. I'm done with it."
She probably
I don't just. Yeah. Like Katie was almost like the face of this franchise. As much more so than actually Toby, because when Katie would pop up in the films,
you're like, oh shit, it's about to
like,
go down.
Yeah, that's when you're like, shit's about to hit the fucking fan.
Yeah.
And Katie was in the film, but it was just young Katie. It goes back to that stupid thing where you ghost travel through the dimension and you go back in time. You know, if you're gonna go back in time, you go with Marty McFly. Yeah. You don't go with fucking Toby. That's just plain and simple. And it really doesn't. It's stupid. It's fucking silly. And like, are we like, okay? If we take a step back. And it's like, of course we're stupid because we're idiots enough to go and actually see this movie and give it a shot. Because I guarantee, if you're watching this, most of the people watching this probably didn't even see the movie because they didn't want to even give it a shot. They were probably done with the series a long time ago.
Unfortunately,
and maybe just for us that we're such big fans of this genre that we want to keep giving it a chance. Mm-hmm. We're fucking done. Yeah. It's over with now. I'm not giving these movies another shot. Even if they casted like Michael Fassbender and like Marion Cotillard to be in this fucking series,
I'd watch that.
I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do to revitalize this franchise unless you reboot it in like 5 years, which is probably what they're gonna do. Mm-hmm. And it's just. It's ridiculous, and I want to apologize to everybody out there who had told me don't see this movie. I apologize because you were right, and we're done with this series. Mm-hmm. No more, no mas. This movie's not scary. It does nothing for me. It's boring. It's slow. The writing is very silly. I like some positives, like the very few, obviously besides the acting. Mm-hmm. I like the mechanism they used of Katie. And Christy, whatever her name is, being able to tell like the future just by, you know, like the little girl sneezes, she says bless you.
Yeah,
like,
that concept was cool.
I thought that concept was cool, but it just it was really you see it in the trailer, and you know it's not the movie's fault that it's shown in the trailer, but there's nothing else there to it. It's just a quick like ooh, like oh shit.
My favorite moment of this thing is like 2 seconds long, but it's one of the time where Toby comes down like in the hallway right next to the camera, and he just fucking knocks the camera down. Yeah. He's like, I fuck this shit. He's like, I'm so done with this camera.
I'm done with the camera. Like, why these dumb idiot humans think that they're gonna keep catching me, and it's just stupid. That's all this movie was just a quick flash of blackness going in front of a camera and either knocking it over or scaring people.
I was upset was when the first time the thing rushed by the camera and you see it as a skull face. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's like, of course.
It's your typical fucking ghost looking thing.
And it's the same thing too. You see that. You get out of the house, and then and then of course the cliche conversation comes up with everybody. Like it was just cliche after cliche. They're like, okay, let's get out of the house. It's like it doesn't matter. It's gonna follow you. It's gonna clamp onto your back. And it just goes back and forth. And the little girl tries to bite the priest at one point, which I thought was funny, like a little zombie moment, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the part
where she's like blowing in her little instrument thing, and then the goo comes out of her mouth?
I don't know. I think she was.
Was that her getting possessed? I am Okay, I brought this up on Twitter. If I see one more fucking movie do the whole eyeballs turn black possessed thing, I'm gonna go jump off a cliff.
Yeah,
I am so sick of that shit. It's not effective. It's not scary. It's completely unoriginal. It's been done for fucking years. Stop it, horror movies.
By the way, when you read the updated version of the script notes that I sent you, just ignore that.
Yeah, just ignore that.
Just ignore the black eye part
note?
that I oops. No, but yeah, I'm sick of that too because it's not scary. It's just her being possessed. and it doesn't. But back to the flute thing. I have no idea. You got is she sucking the dude off?
Is she playing
Is she
Stairway to
sucking
Heaven?
Toby off or something?
That's
Like,
too far.
I'm just saying, like, what it's probably more logical than what she was actually doing, because I guarantee the people making this movie had no idea why she was doing
Okay,
that.
let's imagine what Toby's thought process was during that scene. Hey, girl, play your instrument.
Come suck my flute. That's what he was thinking.
Play your instrument. You're gonna put fluid into your mouth while you're playing this instrument.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Maybe Toby likes jazz. I'm convinced that Toby, his whole
He's
thing.
more of a bluegrass guy.
No, yeah, right. Oh, that'd be actually pretty funny. No, I think Toby's whole thing about this entire franchise is that he just wants to fucking cook food. He wants to be a chef because he's always fucking with the kitchen.
He's fucking with the kitchen.
Every single time.
That was a decent scene. That was okay when they're hiding behind the counters
when
and
it
all
crawls
that.
over, if there's anything spooky about this movie, it's how they kind of go back and he kind of crawls over. But at the end of the day, you're still seeing what it is.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
And even the scenes, like, I'll give him a little bit of credit too, is when the only camera that can see Toby walking through the hallway, and then it cuts to a regular camera that
was
can't see
kinda cool.
anything.
I like that.
I can see that, but like. That's what builds up the intention, if there's a great Funny or Die video that kind of sums up all found footage movies, like trailers at least. It's like they hear a noise and they're like, "What was that?" And it's literally every single clip that they go to. It's like, "What was that?" And that's exactly what this movie was, except you saw what actually like made the noise. Like I wish the scary movies were good. These days, because I can totally see them doing a scene where like the black goo just like starts, it's just fucking like dancing the whole time. Like I could just see Toby being a salsa dancer the entire time.
He's making an omelet in the kitchen. He's just like, making
I'm telling you, he's gonna be a freaking chef in the next movie because all he wants to do is throw pans at people.
He's so excited for the kitchen. He opens up every cabinet. He's like, okay, I gotta start somewhere, guys. Where do I start with this meal? Oh boy.
And he just wants to make some omelets or something. You know what I mean?
That's the sequel to Toby's Adventures. Toby's Adventures Part 2. It's the Kitchen Wars or whatever.
Jesus, man.
He's fighting off Gordon Ramsay.
Toby Ramsey. He's the time traveling ghost son of Gordon Ramsay. Let's take a quick little break from all this fucking bullshit, and let's send it on over to Stacy Howard for the edition of HorrorFlix and Kill, which every single week she recommends to you guys a horror film or a thriller or a psychological thriller on Netflix for you guys to check out that is streaming. So Stacy, on to you.
I'm Stacy Howard, coming to you with my HorrorFlix and Kill recommendation of the week. This week's film is a creature feature set in a small, isolated town. Something sinister is coming out of the woods and no one knows what it is. The only evidence is a set of giant hoof prints. I am talking about Dark Was the Night. The movie's lead characters are a sheriff and his deputy, and they're the only ones standing between the monsters and its town people, who are becoming increasingly paranoid as the danger lurks closer. It stars Kevin Durand and Lucas Haas, who is one of my favorite underrated actors. He's graded all his supporting roles, including this one. Now, despite some bad CGI in the very last scene, it is a low-budget horror film after all. I love the overall look and tone of the film and the performances, so I'm going to give it 3.2 out of 5 skulls. Let me know what you think of my pick in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, bye, bye, bye.
We're back.
Fuck. Hey guys.
Hey guys. How you guys
thank you,
doing?
Stacey, for that recommendation.
Thank you
How's it
so
going?
much, Stacey.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Please go and check out Stacy Howard on Twitter and follow her.
She's cool.
She works really hard on giving us these videos, watching these movies on Netflix, and recommending them to you. She has a great eye for horror, and she has a new podcast too.
Yeah, 6 Degrees of Film.
6 Degrees of Film that is on iTunes right now. Please go check it out. Her and Miss Movies. You guys might know who she is as well. Go and check it out. It's a really great podcast. What else do we got to talk about with this piece of
You
crap?
want to talk about the scares that were all the scares that were like
scares?
99% jump scares.
What's a scare?
What's a scare? Okay, for this movie, literally every scare in this movie is just silence. Bam! That's it. That's every scare in this movie. Wham!
Wham!
Whammy!
Whammy. What's
That's
that from?
Anchorman.
That's what that's from.
I got you.
Yeah, this movie's not scary. It's not. Flat out and simple. Nothing really got me intense. Nothing made me on the edge of my seat. It did nothing, and nowhere near what the first 3 did to me.
Yeah.
At all, because especially the first movie and the third one, I still think the second.
By the way, they show a clip from the third one in this. You know the part where in the third movie where the husband and wife are about to do like a sex tape as a joke.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
start to make out. They flipped that. You know, like I don't know how I noticed this, maybe because I watched the third one recently, but they were facing the other way in the third movie. Like they were facing the left. They
completely flipped it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it to make sure, but I'm pretty sure they fucked that up.
That's weird.
And it's facing the different direction.
Or at least they're doing something different.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I like that they showed that too. Like, I would have liked if they showed clips from the other movies a lot more frequently.
It seemed like they only went to the third one though. The third one
Yeah.
is arguably the best in the series, so that's understandable.
Uh-huh.
But it would have been nice to see a little bit more continuity for the final chapter.
It makes more sense because it's the same location as where the house was burnt down. So of course they're gonna find all the tapes in there. But it's just I don't like that as soon as they find the tapes, that's when the activity starts going. Like, are these tapes and this camera what magically spark off Toby?
Yeah, they're the
you know,
initiator.
is that him popping a boner and saying like, oh shit, I
He's like,
gotta fuck this family.
Sauron's ready to play.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me. We could probably ask the creators of all these movies, and they could probably tell you.
Oh, they'll probably school us. But,
I don't know. For a scare. That's all it is. And the saddest thing about this is that people are gonna watch this movie, regular movie people, and it's not to say that like me, you, or like any of us that are kind of like in the movie sphere that stay in touch with the news and we listen to other shows where people talk about this stuff. Just the regular moviegoer that's like, oh, they've got a new Paranormal Activity. Like the person who finds out that this movie's coming out a week before its release. Yeah. Those type of people are going to see this movie and think that it's terrifying. They're going to think that it's really scary. And I don't mean to like bash those people because I don't want to, but they're being tricked is essentially what's happening. They're being tricked into thinking something is scary when it really isn't. And of course, who are we to say what is scary or not?
Of course,
you know?
yeah. We're just two dudes, obviously.
To each his own. You may find one thing scary, and I might find something completely different.
And the people
scary.
who made this movie may find this thing scary. And congratulations. You guys still made a movie. Congratulations.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, they might be people that were super passionate about this movie, and they were trying to do something.
Jason Blum's super nice guy. I met him once.
I'm sure he is a nice guy, and he's a smart guy, too, because this movie was, what, $3 million to make?
That, yeah.
And they probably made all that movie back the opening night and the first weekend. And so in that aspect, it's smart. But it's just, it's tampering with this genre like most horror films do. And it's just doing the same routine. And it's just promising us things that we're never going to get. And it's not fulfilling any kind of expectations of ours, you know? And it's going to be sad to see. Like, you need to go to AMC or Regal and how they have those like quick fan reactions. Like, oh, I love it. 5 out of 5 stars. They're gonna do that with this movie and just say, "Oh my god, it was so terrifying."
Maybe we just have to accept the fact that this is the state of horror right now.
We're
not gonna enjoy it, but
it's definitely
there's nothing we can do, man.
It's definitely that point where we cannot accept horror. It's not going to be as great as it used to be.
It can be, but right now we're in a period where it's 90% of the movies are the same thing. Yeah, so it's gonna be tough to break out of, and a lot of people are just getting used to that. So they're accepting it.
It's almost like they're being desensitized to this fake, this new era of fake horror. And it saddens me because there's so many other great films out there that go under the radar that people just don't want to check out. Like, people will watch this movie and think it's great and think it's scary, but then they'll go and watch The Babadook and they'll think it's boring and slow. And you know what I mean? And it's like,
if that movie was released in like 1985, it would have been praised.
I think so. Absolutely. No, like by everybody.
By everybody, not just critics and people in the movie sphere.
It would have been
it would have been widely accepted.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just, and look, if you just want to go to a movie like this and see jump scares, like, I guarantee there's people that love to go to these things just to hear a loud popping noise.
And they're like, oh, and it's fun. I get it.
It's fun for them. We understand that. But it's just like, for the diehard fans, for the people that really love, like, why not make the horror film good? Like, just like I understand.
No one's trying to make a bad horror.
They're
film.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I think there are people out there that intentionally just want to make money, obviously, and that's obviously no matter what. Every movie, the end game, even with like something like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or anything, it's to make money. But have those people who are making money passionate about it and make something good. It's like, just like, imagine this movie good. You could still have jump scares in it. It's because as much as I hate jump scares, I'll take 5 jump scares in a really, really good fucking movie.
Yeah, if you have a good enough atmosphere to where everything else creates the scares, not having to just make really loud noises, I'll take a few jump scares every now and then.
But when you rely your whole film on those, it does nothing for guys
You know what
like
it
me and
does?
him.
It doesn't make it scary. It makes it uncomfortable to watch because you're sitting there, you know what's happening. You're just like, oh, I'm not ready for this fucking thing. Boom. You're like,
because even like you and me, the toughest fucking guy in the world will sit down and watch this movie and he'll jump 99% of the time.
Just because it's a natural human reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Hearing an extremely loud noise after nothing.
And
like,
it gets irritating. That's a good point. I never really thought of that.
Yeah, like I get annoyed. I'm like, fuck.
You're sitting there, you're like, I can't really enjoy a movie that's just gonna fucking be really loud and obnoxious. And
you know what? Okay, this is completely off topic, but I watched The Conjuring recently, right?
Yeah.
You know the best scene? One of the best scenes in that movie. Nothing fucking happens. They're in the room. It's the two girls. She wakes up. She's her sheet gets pulled off or whatever.
Right, yeah.
She looks at the door.
The corner, right?
The door, and it's completely black, and it's just her reaction, and her and her sister just staring at it. I got goosebumps right now. I was thinking about it.
Look at you.
But it's all created in the atmosphere there. It's fucking terrifying.
Because it's always about building tension and having your style incorporated into that.
And the new style of horror just doesn't have that.
No,
unfortunately.
Yeah. I think there's just people out there that don't understand like how to create tension, and they just want to show you the monster. They want to show you the creature. They want to show you everything and keep it in front of your face, and they might think that's scary. And I understand it though. I understand because I think the general audience will watch this movie, and if they didn't show the creature at all, or if they just didn't show Toby, maybe it'd be to the point where like, I wanted to see it, and they get mad at that.
I get the idea of showing him.
Yes,
because the last chapter. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have just preferred like maybe at the very end of the movie the characters see him, but we still don't, because I still don't want to see what Toby looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I think that would have worked out even better.
That's what I would have preferred.
I would have accepted a film that is almost essentially a remake of Paranormal Activity, where it's just a like how this one is. It's just a family, and they're experiencing weird shit going on without even furthering the story. As long as it was still in the same vein of just like creating tension and building that up, and not even showing the demon, I would have accepted that way more than what we actually got.
Yeah,
because what we got was just I felt like this is fraud. Like I feel like this is a serious crime that I'm gonna take to the legislatures and create a court case and like just make a bill that just says you can't fucking have more than 5 jump scares in a film.
Yeah.
And
I'll
take
sign
it to
it.
the fucking courts. Take it to the bank, son. Yeah, really. I wish this film was really good.
I wanted it to be good.
I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to conclude a story that started of something that started off really great. And of course, by the time a franchise gets to the 6th film, it's
obviously gonna run out of steam.
It's gonna run out of steam for sure, and it definitely.
But you can run out of steam without ruining the other ones, which is what this one kind of did for me. I don't know if I can go back and watch the other ones now, knowing what Toby looks like.
Well, I think I could still go back to at least the original film, and watch it on its own. Because I still if that movie would have came out with the original ending where Katie gets shot, I think that's like
it's perfect standalone.
I think it's just perfect standalone, and you can still watch it as a standalone too, because it's really based off of how you see things. It may ruin it for you, it may ruin it for me, but in the end, like, who really cares? Like, the other films still exist. I can still watch these movies and enjoy them without really going further into it. All the latest 3 Paranormal Activity films, I can just completely ignore, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
That's all I have to say. I'm just gonna sigh. I'm getting sad. Like, this series meant something to me, and now this one just it just sucks, guys. Don't. That
was a cross on your head.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up. I think we've covered pretty much everything from this film. I mean, there's like
I feel bad.
I
feel
do.
Bad. We tore it a new asshole.
like there's specific moments that happen in the film that we could have probably went into more, like the pool scene. But again, it's just I don't know. I mean, he just wanted to go swimming, and they were bothering him. I don't know.
Where was he going? Is he hiding in the water?
He was hiding in the woods, and I guess like the little girl was burying something.
The seesaw scene was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool. They're like, oh, what the fuck was that?
That's it.
But it was in Christmas time. That was different.
Why was it in Christmas? Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
It doesn't matter because this movie didn't happen to us.
Yeah.
But that's essentially our spoiler recap of Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. We hope you guys at least enjoyed this episode. If you didn't even watch the movie and you stuck around just to watch us talk about it and bash it a little bit,
thank you.
We really appreciate that. We really wish this film could have been something special, but unfortunately, it was a big letdown. And for most people, you guys would say, duh. For us, it just saddens us.
We had hope, and I'm going to have to go talk to a therapist after this.
Yeah, that's fine. Just take your kid out to a nice park and give him candy.
I will
Give
give
him
him lots of candy.
And give your kids candy when it comes to Halloween. Speaking of
Yeah.
Halloween, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. The Halloween episode is going to be airing sometime during the week. It might even be up before Halloween because we got to shoot early. So that might be something a little special for you guys. We have some fun stuff planned for you. Pretty sure that we're just going to go over the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
It's fitting. It's Halloween. I love for the most part most of these films. We talked about the first one before. We've done franchises before, so we'll probably end up talking about that. Once again, this Tuesday at 6:00 p.m. PST. We are going to be watching Halloween on the
first
Popcorn Talk Network for the watch along. It's going to be our first episode doing it, and I hope we get to continue to do it. And if you guys request movies, maybe we can do a lot more, and you guys can watch along with us. And don't worry, we'll be doing stuff on Twitter to be promoting that a lot more for you guys to check that out. We'll be on Top 10 once again, and also check out our trip to Fresno, which was a lot of fun. Tell them where they can find us on YouTube and
If you're
iTunes.
watching, you can find us on YouTube at the Schmoes Know Podcast channel. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Like and comment. If you're on iTunes, go ahead and rate and review. Get us on the charts. We're starting to get back on there.
Yes, we are. Yeah, I'm
feels
seeing us
good.
pop up
Seeing
on
our-
it.
seeing our name on there again. I'm like,
whoever, for all you guys, if you're supporting us both on the Schmoes No Podcast channel and iTunes, thank you. And if you're just iTunes alone, still, thank you very much.
Send in your bedtime stories, by the way. We're
Yeah,
going to bring that back
yeah.
soon. So what's the video copy?
Yes, send your email at videocopster@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're going to bring back that series. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you're new to this channel, it's essentially it is essentially just you guys sending in some creepy stories that have happened in your personal life, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And so I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at Cobbster15,
Follow me at the Real Cody Hall.
and we'll see you guys next time on HorrorFlix. Fuck Toby.